destination for everything pop culture. My name is Aston, and you can follow me on all my social media platforms at Saint_Aston. Unless it's on Snapchat, I go by a different name. I'll release that at a different date. Now, for the channel, we can also be found on all social medias at Lost_Culture TV. That's Instagram, that's Twitter. You can find us there. And all that's going to be down inside the description. All of our links will be down there. So don't worry about how to spell everything out. We'll put it down there for you. Now, our first thing of the day, our first story is going to be Expendables 4. So Sylvester Stallone was out just talking. He confirmed on his social media account today that Expendables 4 is going to be happening. Like, a lot of people didn't think it was going to happen after Expendables 3. Obviously, Expendables 3 was the weakest of the franchise so far. It was also the only movie that wasn't R rating. So they went to the R rating just so they can do more violence, which I don't understand why. Because you can get away with a lot of stuff, like for PG-13, like everything that's going on. You know, obviously you can't show blood, you can't see like a weapon piercing your chest, but you can do a lot of different stuff. We see like even Avengers 1 was almost it had an R rating for a second when they had killed Coulson with Loki's staff poking through the chest. They edited it and got back to a PG-13. But you can get away with a lot these days with a PG-13. As long as you don't show any nudity or anything. Well, female nudity. Because we seen X-Men, they showed Hugh Jackman basically naked and everything was okay. But it's crazy that you can get away with so much, so nobody really understood why they went that route for Expendables 3. So hopefully they go back to the PG-13 rating that they were doing. Because we seen with Expendables 1, they came out with a strong 274 million. And then they went up 305 million for Expendables 2. And when 3 came out, they dropped back down. Like we said, it was also an R rating movie, so they dropped down to 214 million. It actually lacked in quality also. So it's hopefully they go back to the PG-13 and everything is worked out again. Now, I do enjoy this franchise. I think it used to be a really great franchise. I love to see all the old 80s, like all the action heroes come back. Even though we've seen with Terry Crews is in it, he's not really an 80s hero, but he has like the body build of it. I would love to see if they can get The Rock in. The Rock has talked multiple times about if he did an Expendables film, he would want to be the bad guy. He wants to be the bad guy. There's no question about it. He's not joining the team. He wants to be the bad guy. And I have no problem with it. Have we even seen The Rock play a villain yet? Like, we know he's cast as Black Adam, but we haven't really seen him play a true villain yet. So I would love to see him play the villain. I would love to see how that works out, but until then, there's nothing too much to worry about. Now, moving on to our next story of the day. We got the Han Solo film. So we had a couple casting news coming out. We got Woody Harrelson is actually in talks with Disney/Lucasfilm about playing the mentor to Han Solo. And coincidentally enough, like obviously the Woody Harrelson story hit, and then a couple hours later we find out Christian Bale was also approached about this role. Now, that leaves me suspicious of how this role is going to be, because like Christian Bale and Woody Harrelson are on different like scales of the acting like meter for me. Like, I think both of them are really good actors, but the type of character Christian Bale plays is obviously not comedic, but yeah, not like out there as far as Woody Harrelson is. Now, we got like information about the story. I guess they're not following any precise book of Han Solo. Everybody knows like the story of Han Solo in the extended universe, they're calling it, which basically just the old stories where like Han basically was part of the Empire. He was in the academy. His brother died. He defected. He saved Chewie, and that's kind of the reason he left. And we found out it might stick to that a little bit, but it's not going to be like loyal to it. It's going to take some stuff from it, some liberties from it, and pick and choose what it like. How like basically Lucasfilm storyboard has been doing this whole time. They've found stories that they kind of like. They took bits and pieces from it, and they used it when they can. And I had no problem with that. I like seeing that. I'm really excited for the Han Solo film. Obviously, I'm a big Star Wars fan, so there's not even a question about how excited I am for that film. But besides that, that's really all we know about this role. Besides, we had a name, but it's not really for sure right now. Alexander Berdue, and yeah, like I said, it's a character from the stories of Han Solo. But besides that, we don't have no other things about it. It's really up in the air. We haven't heard anything about it. We know we got Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, playing young Lando. We got, and that's like anything else we haven't really heard too much about. Now going on from there, we got our next story, a Deadpool / Wolverine movie. Hugh Jackman was just talking. Believe he's in there doing an interview with Variety, and they're asking a couple questions because we know Ryan Reynolds has been campaigning to do something with Wolverine, preferably like Hugh Jackman. Because we heard him like, "Oh, I had a couple with some testicles or something." I forget what the actual line for was Deadpool 1. I'm not as good as Ryan Reynolds was with my comedic delivery, but as far as that, I actually would be intrigued by seeing this. We actually seen him do a movie before once. Not too good. Want to kind of try to get away from Wolverine origins, especially what they did to Deadpool, sewing the mouth shut and everything, swords coming out of the hand. It's bad what they did with it, but besides that, it was like besides that, like I would love to see him do it again, take another crack at it. Definitely with this new iteration of Deadpool and how Wolverine has evolved so much. Even if it's just a small cameo, that's where it actually came from with the rumor it was a cameo. And we see they shot it down immediately once that came out. But it would be cool to see it because we know this is Hugh Jackman's last run. And he even came out and said, like, I'm pretty hesitant about it. I can see, because when I see these two characters, I can see how they could fit together and make a perfect movie. But it's just bad timing because he's done. Like, he's really ready to hang up the claws. He no longer wants to be Wolverine. He hanging it up. And this is his last hoorah. He's coming out the gate one last time, and he's going to hang his claws up. But I still think it would be amazing to see Hugh Jackman come out one more time after this and do something with Deadpool. They have the same healing abilities, and it would just be cool to see that. Moving on to our next story of the day, we have Rings. So the Rings dropped a new poster. Nothing too crazy. I actually like the poster though. I love how it has first you watch, then you die. It's cool to see that. I love the way she's standing in the back. I love the little ring they have going around the eye for Rings. I love this. Like I really do like the poster. I don't say I love it, but I do like the poster. It's very intriguing. The movie is actually set to come out the 3rd of February 2017. I probably want to check it out. I'm going to check it out, do a nice little review for it, let everybody know. I think this is a great time for this film to come out. This film hasn't came out in a while. We know it. I think the second one, I can't remember how many they made so far, didn't do as well as the first one did. But I still think number 2 was better than 1, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've seen this film, but I think I like 2 more than I like 1. But that's neither here nor there. We have 3 coming out. I don't think it's too late. I would love to see how this universe has expanded and what they're doing with it now. I love the poster, like I said. I love to see how they do the new roll on it now because VHS is obviously dead. This new thing has to be something more digital. It has to be like a DVD or a Blu-ray, something. Even if it's streaming, I'd love to see them find a way to stream it or something like that. And I think that makes it so much more dangerous, more lethal if they're doing a streaming aspect of the film. But that's really all we got for this story. Now the story of the day, like the exciting news, is Disney. Disney is the first studio to cross $3 billion domestically. So last year they had their biggest year at 2.8. This year they topped it. They're at $3 billion. And the crazy thing is they still have 2 films in theaters right now that aren't done with their theatrical run. We still have Moana in theaters. They have Rogue One in theaters. These 2 movies are doing great. Rogue One just crossed $800 million. Moana has been in the top 5 for the last 6 weeks. This movie is doing numbers. This movie is great. I don't know how Disney did a great year. I love how they built they kept what they did last year and built on top of that. Like I said, they went from the 2.8 to the 3 billion. I love to see if they can beat it next year. Next year, they still have another X-Men movie. X-Men. They still have more Marvel movies coming out. Cause this year they had Rogue One came out, helped them. They had Moana. They had Dory. They had Civil War. I don't know if Spider-Man is going to count towards them next year. I'm pretty sure they're going to get some percentage of it, but I don't know if it's going to go towards them. How that's going to break down. I don't know the specifics of the box office and everything for Spider-Man, but I guess we'll find out in a few months how that actually breaks down. But besides that, I think it's great to see this. Like I said, I root for every movie when it comes out. I hope every movie is good, but sometimes we don't get good movies, and sometimes good movies just don't get the type of box office they deserve. So this year, Disney released great movies, and they've hit with all fans. Like, they've been hitting with their fans all year round, and they deserve this. They've been doing great work since I was a kid. Most of my favorite movies are Disney movies, and I still to this day enjoy going to go see Disney movies. Like, I have no problem going to watch a Disney movie by myself. I enjoy these Disney films. They're actually really good films. Now, hopefully they can just build on to what they're doing and keep doing this, keep doing what they're doing and have these great years like this. Now, going on from there, another thing is, a big thing about Disney too, they've been really diverse with what they're putting out. We see Moana was a Polynesian girl or a Polynesian tale. So there's obviously with them being more diverse, we see Rogue One is based, their main character is a woman. We see a lot of supporting roles are ethnic roles. We see Saw Gerrera and all the other characters around her are more ethnic roles. So I'm not saying diversity is the reason that Disney crossed this line, but I think diversity has obviously helped them just bring more people in to watch their films. We even see Civil War. We have a lot of different characters in there. We have Hawkeye. We have Scarlet Witch. We have Scarlett Johansson. We have all these powerful women. All these strong supporting roles like Anthony Mackie, Don Cheadle, all these great ethnic characters, and I think this is what helping Disney come together and make more money is. It makes sense, and that's really all we have for this story. We're moving on to the next story now, Alien Covenant. So this year has been a big thing for movies coming out with these VR adaptations to their films, or basically just VR promotions. So for Alien Covenant, they've came out with the alien, forgot what it's called, actually attaching to the head. I know I'm going to get slaughtered for that, but we see. I actually like how they're doing this. We see Ridley Scott back. He's off of The Martian. He's doing a great job. Alien Covenant. This follow up to bro, you can't be kidding right now. But it's going. I actually have high hopes for this film. The trailer was amazing. We had to see it due out on 19th of May for 2017. I'm definitely going to be there. I'm definitely going to do a recap, not a recap, but a review for it. I'm probably going to do a written and a vlog in a video format for the people who don't really like reading, drop the books. Don't worry, I'll do a video one for you guys also. Now, going on from there, our next story of the day is Extreme Universe. So, Deadpool creator Rob Liefeld, and he's basically been approached by Akiva Goldsman. He's basically acquired the rights, and so the rights to 9 books and a couple of dozen characters, which makes sense. He learned a couple of things he was actually part of the Transformers think tank when they had all the writers come in and basically come up with all the stories they want to do for this Transformers universe. Now he's doing the same thing with this Extreme Universe. He's having a lot of writers come in, get their like ideas about about what we could do with this film, like with this franchise, how we can start it off and how we can branch off from there. Not we, but how they can branch off from there. And obviously, if that first movie lands, they're planning on doing a whole franchise, maybe a whole even universe, and see how far they can go with it. It only makes sense because, like Transformers, like there's no reason why you can't have a full blown universe with Transformers. There's no reason with a book of this size. Like I said, 9 books, dozens of characters. We've seen Harry Potter do it with 6 books. Well, actually 7 books. Now 8. But you see how they did it. They're branching out to different parts of the Harry Potter world, and I think this should be no different for the Extreme universe. There's no reason if this first movie lands, we can't expand out to different aspects of the stories, bring in different characters. I'm not personally familiar with the Extreme universe. I am familiar with Deadpool. I actually like Deadpool, the comic version, video game version. Most of his storyboards, I'm really a fan of. Now, going on to our final story of the day is another Deadpool story. So, Ryan Reynolds, who was sitting down doing an interview with Variety, he basically said that Deadpool's 2 budget is not going to be it's not going to be that much bigger than Deadpool 1. Now with Deadpool 1, it was a $58 million budget, and they made $783 million off the film. Like, that's great when you're doing a film. You want numbers like this. You spend as little as possible to make as much as possible, and that's what they did. But as soon as Ryan Reynolds said that, by the end of the interview, he was also backtracking about what he said. He said at the same time, the budget could be any amount. It could be an outrageous amount. So we don't know where it can be as far as pretty close to transfer the Deadpool 1 or an inflated amount of Deadpool 1. Either way, I think this film is going to do well. We've seen they lost their but we've seen they lost their director. We've seen they lost their composer. Hope everything works out for this film because I actually want to see Deadpool 2. Like I said, I'm a rooter for all these films. I want every movie to be good. Obviously, every film can't be good, but I'm not going to stop hoping that these films do turn out great. And Ryan Reynolds, I'm a big fan of him, so I'm hoping that for his sake, everything turns out well with this movie. Hope everything just keeps to go in his favor. And that's really all we have for this episode of Lost Movie News. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share it so your friends can see. And make sure you follow us on all of our social medias, our Instagram, our Twitter, our Facebook page. And as always, stay lost.